So somebody, let's say right now, let's pick a hypothetical, a day laborer in Wheaton, Maryland, let's say, who wants to become a legalized, a resident alien, a legal resident of the United States. By being able to do that, this person is suddenly going to have not only, I mean, I would say, first of all, there's a psychological benefit of I no longer live in the shadows, I no longer live in fear, I can speak out, I can demand a better wage, I can demand a better, I can be compensated for what I'm worth, and when I'm exploited, I can speak out. I can get involved in the PTA. I can become more engaged in my community, become more active in my community. And in the case of the Washington region, you got a lot of Latinos here who were quite active, who grew up. You know, these are people that survived, you know, exile. They survived fleeing wars of extreme violence. These are entrepreneurial people. These are people who, given $1, will make $10 out of it really quickly. And so these are, I argue, the hardest working people in North America. If you suddenly take away the barriers to somebody who's extremely entrepreneurial and hardworking and sending millions of dollars back in remittances, so there's no question whether or not these people are making money. You know, so if you suddenly take away any barriers and allow these people to invest their assets in this country, in this community, in this neighborhood, you're going to see a tremendous difference in the economic output of the community and of all the Anglos and African Americans and everybody else. All the other American citizens that live in that vicinity are going to also reap the rewards of taking away that barrier to full participation in the economy. The other thing too is that you're going to have people on a path to citizenship. That's going to be more voters, and that's going to be good for both parties. We all know that Latinos aren't necessarily fully in line with the Democratic Party, and they are definitely not fully in line with the Republican Party. Latinos are that, they're in that middle. I think in the last election they went more to the Democrats, but that was as a result of the failure of immigration reform. Before that, the election of '04, I believe, a slight majority went to George Bush. And obviously you had Karl Rove and many others in the Republican Party had that as a strategy. So I think we know that economically speaking, they can change the landscape of this country. We also know that politically speaking, they can change the landscape of this country. And I would argue that socially, they have changed the landscape of this country. More Americans apparently now choose salsa over ketchup when they go to a restaurant. It's, you know, one overused example.
That's the greatest impact of the Latino community.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, you know, I remember there was a time when I would go anywhere outside of Miami or areas where there's big pockets of Latinos and ask for a song in Spanish, and they'd look at me like I was crazy. Now they always carry, you know, several CDs in Spanish. It's a part of the culture. It's a part of American culture. It's not just a border culture or Miami or, you know, the major urban hubs. The fastest growing Latino communities are actually in North Carolina, Arkansas, and the DC region. So the Latinization, if you will, of the United States started a long time ago and will continue.